keep going. You are a human. You're not defined by your mental illnesses. If you really want help. There's always people who will care for you, and all you need to do is reach out and we will grab you and pull you right out. I would say 85.
30%?
I don't know if I can quantify it as a percentage. It's one of those things where you've either been bullied or you know someone who's been bullied.
10%.
I mean, I would hope 100%, but I think 40%.
The number of students who've experienced some form of bullying is probably higher than the students who feel like they have someone they can trust, unfortunately.
During my first few weeks at Monte Vista, I saw a student getting bullied. The victim tried to run away, but the bully kept on grabbing him. I saw so many people walking by, but nobody did anything because we were scared. I regret not saying anything though. I think this situation is pretty common because a lot of time kids don't want to speak up or say anything for fear that they're going to get bullied too.
You should always say something because it does take courage to put yourself on the line to stand up for someone, but it usually only takes one person. If one person speaks up, chances are other people are going to speak up also. And that helps diffuse the situation, and it takes some of the power away from the bully. I came from a school where there were a lot more issues with gangs and violence and drugs and things like that. So that was a lot more common there, which in a way is almost kind of strange to see it at a school like Monte Vista, but I know it does happen.
As human beings, if we ever see anybody not being safe or anybody hurting someone else, that we would act immediately. And if you don't feel like it's a safe place for you to get involved in physically to stop whatever is going on, you as a human being would do something to help one another, because no one should be going through that.
I got a D on one of my tests, and I was already feeling down and disappointed with myself, so it didn't make it any better that my table mates took my test, showed it to others in class, and made fun of me. I dropped the class because people called me the D kid, and this was all because I didn't get a good score on one test. Yeah, this is very, very much a Monte Vista thing. It's almost like, for me personally, it's almost like a form of reverse bullying compared to when I was in high school. Because when I was in high school, it was like the smarter kids were the ones who got called nerd or stuff like that. And now it's like if you aren't the smart kid in a competitive environment like this, you get picked on.
We all are going to fail at something. We're going to fail someone, or we're going to fail at some point in our lives. I hope for this student that they know that test doesn't define them. It doesn't define who they are. I think it's more important in terms of how you respond to those challenges, right?
We're going to Monte Vista where everybody's centered around grades and getting into a good college and such. So it's really difficult when people don't do well and live up to the expectations of others, and that's also a big cause for bullying. It's really difficult to find an ally or find someone who's it's okay if you're just average or below average, because you're still a human being.
It was brought to my attention that there was an account made against me. I didn't know until my friend found the account and told me about it. I was shocked because I didn't know so many people didn't like me. I was depressed for a few months, and I talked to a few friends, and they helped me feel loved. I'm really, really glad that this student has a good, strong circle of friends that is a positive influence on them and to help lift them up, because there are going to be definitely times in life that you're going to need that. So making sure to surround yourself with people that you trust, people that are good influences, people that are positive, and that are going to be there for you in these times of need.
So this one's definitely much more of a modern issue, especially with the prevalence of platforms like social media. The part that's highlighted here, I didn't know so many people didn't like me. I can certainly see why a student would feel that. Social media, it's a great way to keep people connected and to get information in a quick manner, but stuff like this has certainly become much more challenging to deal with.
I wasn't on great terms with the popular kid at school because we fought in elementary school. She told all her friends that I was spoiled and a messed up kid. I became an outcast because nobody would want to talk to me. I began to self-harm because I hated myself and others hated me. I've personally actually seen this where people would self-harm because of things that other people said to them or things that happen in their life. They can create their own future and they're not bound by the chains of other people.
I would love to be able to talk to this person and tell them, you know, that what happened to you in elementary school, again, doesn't define you. Like, you're going to be off to college next year or whatever else you're going to do next year. And yeah, it makes me really sad to see that these are happening or have happened here on campus.
But the last part is where you can see how much the impact had on the kid. I began to self-harm because I hated myself, because others hated me. And whether or not that's accurate that everyone hated you, it's the perception. And it looks like it really impacted this kid to the point where they were self-harming. And that's unfortunate. So I hope that this kid, whoever this is, had someone to talk to on campus or someone they felt comfortable with, because there's always a better outlet than self-harm, and that there's help available if they are feeling that way.